Hello and welcome back to this series of tutorials about LiveScaler. In this video, I will suppose that you already installed LiveScaler, that you already played a bit with it, and I want to get a bit more into the details of how transformations actually act on triads, on chords like C major, for instance. I will do two versions of that video. The first one, which is this one with the pad controller, and the second version will be with the keyboard. So let's get into it. So here is the mapping of the pad controller, and in this video I'm just going to cover the two columns in the middle. So I have this C major chord that I've put, which is pretty long, so that I can just apply the transform and you can hear the result. And I put some MIDI modulars to see how the transformations act on the C major chord. So let me put back the mapping, and you will see, for instance, so these are the degrees of the triads, and let's see how these transformations apply to the C major chord. So you see this is F major now that I've applied the fourth. Now this is G major, and if I go here, it's D major. So basically, they are just transpositions. Now, the second column are the relative minors of the first column. So let's see how it acts on C major. So A minor is indeed the minor relative of C. This is the minor relative of F major. So let me remind you that it actually retriggers itself, and I also trigger it with a transformation. That's why there is these slight artifacts that you can hear. Okay, and so this is exactly how you can apply all these transformations, and they are the main transformations. Now, one question that you can ask is that, yes, but what if my track is in G major, for instance? So that you have, let's say, okay, let me put this chord to G. Okay, so now this is G major. And I've forgotten that I have the transformation on. So now this is G major. And you want to have exactly the same mapping that you had for C major. So what you do is that you go in the LiveScaler conductor, and you have to change the anchor to G. And the fact that it's the octave doesn't count here, it's not important. You just want it to be G. And now you can do exactly the same thing as you were doing before with C. And as you can see, this is still the fifth degree, for instance, of G. And this is indeed the minor relative, and so on. If you want any kind of major key, you just have to set the anchor just like this. Now the other question is, what if you have a track that is actually in a minor key? Well, in that case, you want the anchor to be in the major relative of your minor key, and that's very important. So for instance, if you're in A minor, you want the anchor to be C, because the major relative of A minor is C. if you're not very at ease with this concept of minor and relatives and major relatives, you can always go on the internet and check which is the major relative of the minor key you are in, and you just enter the encore here. So let's see. Now I have this A minor chord that I can play. Okay, and I just apply the main transformations. So what can be a bit confusing is that now that your track is in minor, all of those are going to be minor chords, and these ones are going to be major ones. And these chords are going to be the major relative of these ones. So for instance, so this is A, and now if I play this this transformation here, I get the major relative of A, which is C major, right? So this is the fourth degree of A, which is D minor. And the major relative of D minor is F major. So it's basically exactly the same mapping, but everything is reversed because you are in a minor key. So the column of the right is now, of the left, sorry, is now minor, and the column of the right are relative majors to the minor chords. So there is one last thing I want to show you, and that's this major to minor pad. So let me go back to the C major chord. And what you can use it for is that you maintain this pad here, and you play any chord you want, and you will get the minor version or major version of it. For instance, this is C major, and I can play this, and I get C minor. And the same applies for A minor, for instance. So this is A minor. I hold this, and now I have A major. Now that I've shown you of this, you should be able to make any kind of chord progression that you like. For instance, I have put this small chords with a bass here, and both the bass and the piano are impacted with the same transformation, and this is just a loop that does only that. And now if I apply the transformations, it does this. And so on. So as you can see, I'm just using those simple transformations to harmonize in live something that initially is just C major. So I hope you find it fun, and that you can use in your actual lives.